Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop.
Hello. Welcome back to Chewed Gum. I'm Alyssa. And you are muted.
That's always so embarrassing. And I'm freezing. No, please. Okay. I think we're okay. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just hope I don't freeze. And then we'll be good.
Yeah, I hope I don't either. I don't know what's going on. Well, today is March 3rd. Can you believe we're already in the third month of the year? What the hell is happening?
No, it makes me a little physically ill, but that's okay.
I know. Well, if you're new here, this is Chewed Gum. It's a show about rejecting purity culture, challenging misogyny, and the effects of religious trauma on women. And you can call in to the phone number on the screen or the web link in the description. It's 720-619-2288. And we have a bunch of lines open. So if you want to call in and talk to us or debate us about any of those things, maybe you have strong feelings about abortion rights or about Christianity being good for women, or religion being good for women in general, you can call in and talk to us about a whole bunch of stuff. You can talk to us about how you think that the Trump presidency is a good thing for women. I would love to discuss that with you. And if you are in the chat, you can send a super chat of $5 or more, and we will read them at the end of the show. And so make sure that you get those in. And that's it. What's new?
Well, it's not very adult, but I'll tell you about it. So I started playing, well, this was a couple weekends ago. I started playing the new Pokemon game, and I was like shiny hunting, which is just like trying to find Pokemon, like rare Pokemon. But I hate it because I won't play video games for like 6 months, and then I'll play a singular video game and I cannot stop playing it for 4 days, and then I'll never and then I'll never pick it up again, and it's a problem. I spent like 5 days playing this game, like I barely slept, but now I'm just done with it forever, I think. But it was fun. But it was a fun time.
That is so crazy. That's like the most, like, you know how people with ADHD will have like a hyperfixation and then they never finish it? I feel like that's sort of what you're dealing with. That's like what you're describing.
Oh, but it's finished. I finished them in that game.
We're done. That is so crazy how quickly you went through that.
I know, but it's unfortunate because, okay, so it is a new game, but it's not like super new. So they're already releasing a new Pokemon game on Thursday or Friday, so I'm cooked. It's gonna happen again.
Wow.
I know.
You're gonna be in a loop of this.
I know it's a mixture between Pokemon and Animal Crossing. That's what the game is, and I'm
Ooh.
so hyped. I'm gonna be playing that. So,
That's really fun. That is
so
really
that's
fun.
super exciting. Anything new with you?
My best friend is in town, so we're gonna do some fun stuff this week, and
That's
that'll be
awesome.
great. And over the weekend, I went to Palm Springs for the first time, which was really fun. It's the desert, so it was very hot.
I saw your
And
stories. It looked
oh
beautiful.
my God, it was really cool. And it was my friend's birthday, and she rented this insane house that had a lazy river in the background.
Ooh,
It
that's
was
a lazy river. I would live there the entire time. I love them
listen.
so much.
Oh my God. I was lazy riven all weekend long. It was so nice. And it was also like, she is like kind of insane. So she also had us play this game called Sardines. Have you ever played that game before?
I don't think so.
Okay. I've never heard of this game before. Sometimes I wonder if she made it up, but I don't know. But it is basically like reverse hide and seek. So instead of like everyone hiding and one person searching, it is one person hiding and everyone is looking for them.
Okay.
So, and when you do that in a big house with the lights off at night, it takes forever to find this person. She also, last year she made songs using AI, which I mean, a year ago, I think we didn't know how bad AI really was, but a year ago, she made songs for every single person who came to her birthday weekend. And
Oh.
no,
Oh.
they were like screamo hunting songs.
Oh,
It
for
was
when they
gross.
hunt, for when you like hunt people. Oh my gosh. At
Yes.
first I thought you meant like said all the nice things about you. And that
No.
is hilarious. That's the kind of dedication I love to see in a friend. I love
Oh
that.
my God. It's crazy. It's psycho. This year she played the soundtrack of the movie The Witch. It was so fucking scary. I
Oh
was
my gosh,
so
I've only seen that movie once forever ago, and it actually scared the living shit out of me. It like scared me.
Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. And we did that in a house that no one was familiar with the lights off at night. And it was really scary.
That is so fun. That sounds like such a good time, honestly.
It was really fun.
And I love that she played horror music. I feel like it really gets you in the mood to play that game.
I clung to Kevin like my life depended on it because I was so scared. And some of the rooms were like pitch black and there's someone in there hiding. So
Right.
it was just, oh my God. Anyway, if you are watching the stream, please make sure that you hit the like button so that we push this stream out to the algorithm. We don't have that many people watching right now, like compared to our normal times. So hit that like button so that we are popping up for everyone in the algorithm and we get some more people in here. Oh yeah. Okay. The other thing is SJL in the chat reminded me. So a key part of Sardines is when you find the person who's hiding, you're supposed to hide with them. And the reason they call it sardines is because you're like packed into this like little place wherever that person is hiding.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. It was
Maybe that's a good time.
It was frightening. Anyway, so that was my weekend plan. It was crazy. It was a good time. Anyways, so we have only one call waiting right now. Y'all, it is a quiet Tuesday. I know.
Let's go in.
We need people to call. We need people to like the stream. So we keep pushing ourselves out there. And I don't know. What else is new? Let's yap a little longer before we take our call.
I
So we
can show you. I can show you some crafts I've done. I feel like a child when I
Yeah.
say that. Um,
Yeah.
so I decided to try clay for the first time, and I made this little like mobile thing, and I think it's
Oh,
so cute.
wait, that came
Right?
out amazing. You're so naturally crafty that I think really like almost any craft you do will just turn out pretty
Oh,
solid the first time around. That's
thanks.
so crazy.
And I made a new bag this weekend too. Well, I'm working on the strap, but this is the bag I made. I'm pretty proud of it. It honestly looks kind of ugly on this video, but I
No,
swear
it's so cute.
the colors look way better in person. I swear to God. I
That
swear.
is very cute. That's like that would be sold in Free People for $150.
Yeah, that actually is true. I feel like that is the kind of shit people like sell for that. But I feel like crochet specifically takes so freaking long. And I don't
Mm.
know if this is true, but apparently no machines can like replicate crochet. I don't know if that's true or not. Um
Oh,
yeah.
It
So
is.
that's interesting.
that's
It is
true.
true.
Okay. So yeah, so oftentimes when you see a crochet piece, if it's I guess ethically made, it's going to be pretty expensive. Um,
Wow. You know
yeah.
what? And that also is good to know because that means if you see a crochet piece and it's really cheap, then
Yeah,
you
you're like,
know.
what's going on here? What
Yeah,
is going
yeah,
on here?
yeah. I
No,
mean, and
exactly.
yeah, and we can, I guess, feel that way with most things,
Yeah.
but now we know specifically with crochet what the vibe is. That is so crazy.
And I got my friends into junk journaling so that way I can force them to do like cute junk journaling dates, like go to a coffee shop and have our
Yeah.
little junk journaling date. It's so fun. I love that. I
Do you
feel like
want
that's what God.
wait,
What?
go ahead. I would
Oh,
go ahead, go
sorry. I
ahead.
think I was freezing. It kind of feels like modern day, like what moms did, like scrapbooking, like those giant scrapbooks, but just like small in in little notebooks. It feels like the exact same thing.
Yeah, so do you want to explain how you junk journal? Because I know generally it's like taking random stuff. I guess it's not random and putting it into a journal, but explain to me your process
Yeah,
and what it is.
I do it with a lot of stuff that I've saved, but I also have like construction paper and stuff because I like to layer things. And then I actually have a little mini thing that prints pictures because I kind of use it as a actual journal to keep up to date with like things happening in my life. So I'll take pictures and print them out and put them in there
Hmm.
for whatever I did. And then sometimes in my junk journal, I will actually just journal. And then other times, okay, I'm trying to think of like if I go, oh, here's one that I did. When I went to the Renaissance Fair, I kept the map and then I like cut things out from another map and cut the whole map out and put like the actual map in. And then I had some stickers of like fairies and I put them on the map and just like
Ooh,
fun stuff like that. I
that's
feel
so
like. Yeah,
fun.
it's a good time, honestly. It took me a while to get my friends into it, but I think I successfully did it. So,
Junk journaling, honestly, that's a good thing for people who are sentimental and like to keep little
yes.
things but don't know what to do with them. Like, honestly, this is something I should introduce to Kevin because like all of this is just like little sentimental things
Yeah.
and they're all like you know, it's like one of the things in here is like a reed diffuser that's empty. So I'm like, I know there's a sentimental reason he's keeping it, but we don't need an empty reed diffuser. But what we could do is take the sticker off and put it in a junk journal,
Right. No,
keep the sentimental
exactly.
value, get rid of the thing that is serving no other purpose, perhaps.
Yes. No, exactly. I also think it's good for people because I have really bad memory as far as random, random memories
Oh,
in my life.
yeah.
Oh. So I
Sorry.
love to if I feel like I'm having a really good time or something I actually want to remember, I try to remember to actually take pictures of what's going on because I'm really bad at that. I never take pictures anymore. So I feel like it's forced me to take pictures and remember more, like actually remember the event. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I even like I have a ooh, our lines are filling amazing. I even have a digital camera, and that has also
Yes, I
helped
love
me take
those.
pictures. Yeah, and like you can get a like one of those little things where you plug it into your phone and you can put your SD card in there.
Yes.
That's really helpful too.
I also have a Polaroid and I have so many pictures. I have like a lot of physical albums, but I love them.
That's really nice. I love it. Okay, well, we have some calls to choose from. So, okay. Do you have any call that looks particularly good to you in this moment?
Maybe the very first one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Constantine, hello.
Hello. How's the audio?
Sorry,
What?
I didn't catch
Okay.
that.
How is the audio? Can you hear me?
Oh, how's the audio? It's good.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. I just want to ask to get this started. Are there things like kinks that you think should not be encouraged? Like, is there any line to what? I mean, of course, when it's consenting and with adults, are there any kinks or, I guess, sexual acts that you guys think should be like off limits?
I personally don't think so, as long as it is consensual and fun for the people involved and it's not violating the consent of other people. Like when it comes to stuff like voyeurism and like, public stuff, you're violating the consent of other people who did not consent to see what you're trying to with exhibitionism and stuff like that. But aside from that, no, not really. I think there's like a healthy way to do almost anything. I think that there's some kinks that require some sort of like checking in with yourself. Like if you have a kink and it's, I don't know, adjacent to violence or adjacent to like attraction to minors in any way, that kind of stuff. Even if it's like in a playful, not a play, I guess playful, in like it's not, you're not actually entertaining a real minor. I think it's important to be like aware and grounded in what you're wanting to engage with, just to make sure that like you stay in a space where consent is involved. But aside from that, I don't think so.
Well, this is actually something about me that I think is relevant to the conversation. I've been an SA survivor since I was 13, so I know I have some weird psychological problems, and I guess I wanted to, because I've been to therapy, and I'm always on therapy after that, and but I've never talked like about sexual stuff like that a lot. Of course, I've told him, my therapist, some of those things, but I just wanted to ask, like, I know for myself that I have power play, I guess is what you could call it, like fantasy, and I just wanted to ask if it's with a consenting adult, if it's okay, I guess, or it, if I wanted to know if it could be a slippery slope, because the last thing I would want, I would never want anyone to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to encourage such urges.
Yeah, well, I think it's very common for people who've experienced sexual assault to have like power play dynamics that they want to experiment with in their sexual life. Sometimes people describe the experience of like rewriting some level of what the assault was like, because you're like putting yourself in a position to take power back from that scenario. Honestly, whether you're in a position where you are dominant or submissive, you are taking agency in what role you're playing, and that feels good. It feels good to like re-own what that experience is like. So that's really common. There is in kink spaces, it's really important that that you're having very clear conversations with everyone who's involved. Part of what is involved in consent is that everybody is fully informed of everything that you are planning on doing, and that the consent is reversible. So if you have a conversation ahead of time and you say, this is like roughly what I'm interested in, and if anything else comes up that like we want to try, please tell me if you are comfortable or not comfortable, and we can stop. Have a safe word, and if you can, just like sort of stick to the plan. But as long as what you're doing is safe for you and the other person, and you are complying with consent, which a really good acronym for consent that I think Planned Parenthood is where I learned this from, is you use the acronym for FRIES. So it's freely given, reversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific. I think it's specific. So you have all of these little elements, and if those are all in line, then I think you're in the clear, and what you're experiencing is pretty common. And it might be helpful to see if you can find a sex therapist in your area, because they'll have extra additional training to be able to have that conversation with you in like a very sensitive, comfortable way, where they're not going to like, place any judgment on you, and you'll be able to have like a healthy conversation with them. Because there are people who engage in lots of different kinds of power play, kink relationships, even like consensual non-consent, which is something that some people.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah. So there's so many options for you.
Okay, and I wanted to ask, because I don't know, I've been through also the red pill shit, and I don't have experience when it comes to dating. I just wanted to ask a quick question of when would it be okay to bring up like my past when it comes to my experience with SA?
I think I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's whenever it feels comfortable for you. And I kind of feel like with situations like this, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And so when you feel like the time is right and you feel comfortable enough to share, then I think you share. And if the person on the receiving end feels uncomfortable or is not wanting to move forward with you, then that's information for you. And then you didn't not waste, but you didn't spend more time with a person who is not willing to continue with you. So I think it's really whenever you feel comfortable. I don't think you need to tell anyone like early on if you don't want to. If you feel like this is a big part of me and my experience and I want to share this kind of early, then do that. But I don't think you're like required to tell people, in the first 3 dates or whatever it is.
Okay, that's basically what I wanted to ask.
I think it's great that you're already in therapy and stuff. It shows that you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Trying to do this in a healthy way.
Yeah, good for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, but I even hesitate to consider myself a good person. Like, I feel like I could never accept that about myself, and I know it's because of purity culture, and shows like yours really help.
Yeah.
Even people like, because I know I'm not exactly the target demographic. I am a man, and but even you really help people like me with your show, and I wanted you to know, because you can never hear it enough. I think.
That's really nice. Thank you so much. And you are our target. Like anyone who wants to have these conversations is who we want to have those conversations with. And when you call in and you share things like this, it's always amazing to me to see how many people in the chat are, saying things like, you're not alone, and I'm so glad this person called. And like your experience and sharing these very vulnerable experiences, that's what makes this show really special, because like without people like you calling in and being willing to share something like this and give other people the comfort of knowing they're not alone, then the show is not what it is. So really it's callers like you that make it really special, and I'm really glad you called.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Well, I thank you so much about everything.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling
again.
Constantine.
Call back anytime.
Of course. Stay safe.
You too. Bye-bye. Love him.
That was very nice.
That was really nice. Originally, his prompt was, can purity culture keep you safe in the bedroom? Which would have also been a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He's also brave for saying all that. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be able to. So I'm glad he called in.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Do you have thoughts on if purity culture can keep people safe in the bedroom?
I think it does the opposite.
I agree. I want to know,
because of like them like not teaching consent, and then also they don't really talk about sex at all, besides like, oh, you shouldn't have sex until you're married. And then on top of that, I feel like a lot of it obviously allows rape culture. I don't know how you want to say it, but all of those things. So yeah, I think it does the exact opposite. I was thinking about that prompt when I saw it. I was like, do I think there's really like any way it could be? I just like can't think of a way it would like be beneficial. I don't know.
I agree. I think it only hurts people. And I think because even I guess like the thought process is, if you're putting people in a place where they are not wanting to have sex at all, hypothetically, like maybe you're making people safer, but that's never how that works. Like we know abstinence doesn't work either. So
yeah, and also sometimes I get annoyed when I talk about purity culture and someone's like, oh my gosh, why are you acting like it's wrong to wait to have sex until you get married or whatever. I'm like, that isn't even what it is, though. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And if it was just that, like literally just that, I don't think many people would have an issue, and then there wouldn't be a lot of people traumatized by the whole thing or
Yes.
negatively impacted. But I feel like when people say that, they're being dishonest about what it actually entails, because they're missing everything that led up to that point, like what they were taught and what was said to them. And yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Okay, well, that was a really great conversation. I'm so glad that Constantine called.
Me too.
And I want to turn on my little ring light, so I'm gonna just hop off the camera for literally 1 second because I just realized I was like, oh, I'll just turn it on whenever I need to, but I forgot to plug it in. So hold on 1 second.
Hey guys, who is playing? I say it wrong every time. Poketopia, not Poketopia. Damn! The new Pokemon game that's coming out Thursday or Friday, where it's like Animal Crossing / Pokemon. Let me know if you guys are playing, because I'm gonna be playing, and I don't want to feel alone in this.
Okay. Oh, let me turn it on. Okay. There we go.
Oh, Pokopia is that how you say it, right? Not Poketopia. I'm saying it wrong. Anyways.
Pokopia?
Something like that.
I'm just making that up. Like, I have no idea. Okay, we have some other calls in here. Do you want to take 6-3? Because I think we can both contribute to that call. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull in Sweet, who is calling from the Ukraine. Hello.
Hello.
How are
I'm
you?
glad that you accepted my call.
Of course.
So may I do 2 very short prefaces before we come to the topic?
Sure.
So I consume a lot of content from the line, mostly because it is 2:30 a.m. in Ukraine, and it is the time when Russians do their massive attacks on Ukrainian power infrastructure and neighborhood. Right now, just 5 minutes ago, it stopped the alarm in my city. So I usually stand awake and see a show every time when it happens. So I feel like lately people speak very little about the war in Ukraine. And it's a bit disheartening for me, because it is March 2026. The war is going on for 12 years, and we are now in the 5th year of Russian 3 days long special military operation in Ukraine. So I just ask you to speak about this a bit more, because I feel like people speak about Palestine mostly because they are helpless to do anything. They feel that they can be compassionate to the struggle of people of Palestine, and it's all they can do. But Ukraine still fights, and it means that you can't just say you have our thoughts and prayers, because you can do much more with thoughts, prayers, and an FPV drone than with thoughts and prayers alone. So I ask generous people of the line to donate to Ukrainian armed force, to special funds that collect donations for drones, because drones is the name of the game. Drones are the weapons. Drones are the anti-air defense. Drones are demining tools. They fly over the fields that Russian plant their mines, and they see these mines underground.
I'm sorry, I do recognize the importance of the topic, but it is not related to what you said you were going to call in about.
Yes. I asked 2 very short prefaces. So it was the first one. The second one is that 12 years ago, two Ukrainian activists, Mikhailo Zhiznievsky and Sergei Nigoyan, were killed during the protest. They were first two victims in the Revolution of Dignity. To that point, I think it was absolutely impossible to finish this thing in any kind of agreement. It was already 2 months of protest, and at that point, people were so angry that the government could not stay unaccountable for these things. And I feel that if United States is so much bigger than Ukraine, it will be, if we scale things up, it will be like the northeastern megapolis of United States is 50 million people. Kyiv is like 4 million people. There was 1.5 million people in Kyiv during the height of protests. And I feel like tens of thousands of people in Minnesota can do a lot, but I feel like 10 million people in Washington can do a lot more.
So
if
I want to.
You can please.
I want to get back to the topic you called in about, because what you've called about is closer to the topic of chewed gum, and I think that there are so many shows on the line that are more about like the general state of the world and
yes.
You know, and so I want to make sure that we stay on topic with the kind of things that are aligned for chewed gum. And I appreciate your wanting to share this message. And, you know, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world all the time. And I think we try our best to shine light on as many things as we can. But I would love to talk about what you had originally called in about.
Yes, and thank you a lot to give me this time. So the topic I wanted to speak is about nice guys, so-called nice guy syndrome, and the pipeline that leads those nice guys to incels, because I feel it is very dangerous pipeline.
Yeah,
I feel there's a lot of content about this stuff, and I very glad that you, Alyssa, take the calls from guys like Andrew and Cortez. I feel like Cortez is a bit beyond salvation, unfortunately, but I really hope that guys like Andrew can change their mind, because he's so young and he will learn a lot more.
Yeah.
I chose this topic because I am myself struggling with being a nice guy. And I feel like, from my point of view, it is very difficult to understand how it comes across to another side. So I would like to ask you, especially Taylor, because I feel Alyssa knows very well about what is this about, the definition, the psychology beyond this. But I wanted to ask first Taylor, then Alyssa, what do you think about nice guys? How they come across to you? How do you feel about us?
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel like if someone automatically gives themselves a label, like calling themselves a nice guy, I feel some type of way, because I know typically what it's associated with. They could actually be a nice person, but typically when I come across men like that who call themselves that, they feel entitled to women in general, and then when they don't get what they want, they're not very kind at all, or they weren't very nice. They were only really nice to people they're attracted to, or to people they think they have a chance with. So that's kind of the vibe I get from them. So I don't know. I feel like it probably does more harm than good for a guy to refer to himself as a nice guy in general, because of all the bad things associated with it. Like you said, basically the incel culture that it's turned into, of kind of this entitlement of women in society owe me, and like I'm owed this because I'm nice. Well, it's like a lot of people are nice. Like that's kind of like the bare minimum, right? Is being nice to random people or whoever. And I think, you know, you're going to have to give a little more than just being a nice guy. And I think people don't like to hear that. And I think there are plenty of guys who do end up in great relationships who are very kind people, but I think it wasn't them just being nice. I think that they had good personalities and they were actually kind people. And I think there's a difference between being a nice guy and being like a kind, compassionate guy. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. If that answers your question.
And what do you think about this, Alyssa?
So I think like what Taylor was talking about how like when someone, sorry, my microphone's being crazy. When someone calls themselves a nice guy, our instinct is to be sort of cautious because it feels like a defensive thing to say. Where if you are like it feels like you're saying it's not like I'm a nice guy, it's like but I'm a nice guy. Like there's that weird like but in the beginning that makes me think that like it makes me think, why is a person trying to justify to me that they are a nice person?
Right.
If they're a nice person, I should be able to tell. And it also feels like it's coming from a place, like Taylor said, of feeling owed a certain relationship or like type of interaction with women around them. So, and that's not always the case for everyone, but I think that's where the like reflex of hearing somebody say I'm a nice guy and being like, okay, well, I'm not so sure about that. And you also have to consider the inverse of it is you never hear women trying to justify to like, how crazy would it be if a woman was talking to a man and was like, why don't you want to go out with me? I'm a nice girl.
But I'm nice.
Yeah, but I'm such a nice girl. You'd be like, that's weird. Why do you feel like you need to tell me that? So I think that's part of it. I also think we're in a tough place. Like if you've seen the way that we've had conversations about men and like how I feel about men right now, I think men are really in a tough place now with women out earning men in some fields and just, being expected to contribute to the household in a different way than they ever have, like financially specifically. It takes away the thing that women were looking for in men for a really long time. Like they were looking for someone who was going to be able to support them, to be able to have this like traditional family. And now women can support themselves. And now men are on a new journey of, okay, well then what's my role? Like what do I contribute to this partner, to this family? And so that is a really challenging place for people to be. You're like redefining who you are in relationships and like what you are worth, and I hate this phrase because like the gross manosphere guys say this, but like for the sake of communicating it clearly, you're considering what you're bringing to the table for the first time, because before what you brought to the table was I'm a man, so I offer the roof over your head and I offer, protection of sorts. And now like women don't really need that. And so then now we're in a place where women can pick and choose. And then we have men who are like, but I'm a nice guy. And, I don't know if that was like cohesive enough, but generally those are my thoughts.
Thank you a lot. It was about what I expected to hear. Thank you. I wanted to add my perspective on this. Like 10 days ago, there was a show when Cortez called, I believe her name is Cynthia. It was Cus I Wanna with Forrest and Cynthia. And she asked this exact question, what do you bring to the table? And the guy started to answer that, yes, I am a man, I offer my resources. And then she asked, okay, but what you do aside of that? And at this point, the guy just broke because he doesn't understand what women would expect them to do besides being a provider. And I found a very compelling explanation for me because the nice guy is like a popular term, but I believe the psychological term for this kind of people is codependency. When people want to provide something to their partner so much that they completely forget about the sense of self, of their own self-worth, about the boundaries. It is very difficult to understand that people have boundaries if you don't have one. So when people try to sacrifice themselves, to define themselves not as a person that have some innate worth, but as a function. What can I bring to the table? Okay, I'm provider. I'm a guy who knows like a lot of things. I can speak a lot. I can make people laugh, but it's all functions. It's not my own self-worth, because own self-worth of such person is often equals to zero. They don't believe they deserve anything because they think their worth is equals to zero.
Right.
And this is the problem.
Yeah, it's a lot of self-worth stuff. But I think part of that is because in traditional households, your self-worth was based on being the like primary earner of the family and like the primary protector of the family. Like that, as much as it, like someone in the chat said, it sounds transactional, but like of course, being a nice, kind partner, a supportive partner is also a part of it. But that, like, a big defining feature of how men developed their self-worth over all of this time is by saying, well, I know what I have to offer is security for my family, which is huge. Like, it's more like, it's not just, I think that when people hear like, being the primary earner of a household, it feels so transactional, and it feels so like it doesn't feel like emotional. But we know when your housing situation is unsure, when you don't know if you're going to be able to put food on the table, that is fucking emotional. And to have a person in your life who is able to make sure that you are never worried about the roof over your head, and you're never worried about being able to eat and all those things, that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. So men being able to do that for the women in their lives was a big part of their self-worth. Like, wow, look what I can do. I can create this safety and security for not only this person that I love, but the children that we might bring into the world. And that's a huge thing. And now, like you said, like, we have self-worth stuff going around with this generation of young men, because not only is that not really the case anymore, because women can earn money and honestly kind of have to, like, most households need two incomes. But now there are people who, like, don't really care about having families, or not super into marriage, and like everyone's sort of like making their own way.
Yes, I think you are absolutely correct. And I feel like in some kind of collectivist society, it might be more not only accepted, but actually also promoted. It will be noble to give yourself, give your resources to other person. But in highly individualistic world, everybody has to do their own shit, like have their boundaries, have they be a person in itself, not as a part of the couple. So I feel like was like adaptation for earlier times that is not very good for modern individualistic society. And also, I feel like, how do I say it, when a nice guy approaches even before, because when the person says that he is a nice guy, he is usually already quite in pain, quite vitriolic about this stuff. Usually before that happens, I feel like it comes across like suffocating care that removes agency from a woman, because a guy puts her on a very, very high pedestal. He just worships her and tries to share more that he can have. One woman that I tried to approach with this stuff, and she ran away from me, and it was very good for her, but not for me. She told me that you can't feed someone if your plate is empty. And I feel like many nice guys have their plate empty. They try to give everything to their partner, but it comes across as controlling and manipulative and guilt tripping.
I also feel like because it was one way for so long, where basically people had to get married, like women had to get married, or else I don't exactly know. It would be hard for them to survive, because not until the 70s did we have like birth control and owning and like women being able to have bank accounts and stuff. And I feel like we're going through especially a like painful period of time where those people still taught their kids that it's that way, and it's not really that way anymore. So I feel like there are probably people out there that feel a little lied to. Like, yeah, I was told that if I'm a provider, if I have the right job, that's all it's really going to take. And now things are drastically changing, and I'm sure people don't feel very good about that. On top of that, you have people saying that, you know, this is the way it should be forever. Nothing should change. Relationship dynamics shouldn't change, which is just silly. But I think it's going to take a decent amount of time for kind of that effect to wear off, because if women only started having options like starting in the 70s, I think it's going to be a while for society to actually adjust to, I don't know, how different things are, possibly, because I also think that people will hear, I know this is my experience, people will hear sometimes their grandparents talk, and they're like, oh shit, I don't want to live that way. Like, I remember hearing my grandmother talk about her marriage, and it was definitely for like resources, and she would say that herself. But I think like women during that time period had a lot of horror stories that they like passed down. So you see a lot of people like running the opposite way. And I think that also has an effect on it. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
So another topic I see in comments that nice guys are tricking women with an overly false personality. And it is very true, because since people don't believe that they have inner worth, they try to please another person to show themselves from the better side. And it is, I think, it's off-putting very much, because if you lie about basic things, if you try to do everything to your partner, how your partner can believe you in everything, in any of your words, if you just try to self-erase yourself and be a good partner for her, not for yourself.
Yeah. I think what's going to be helpful maybe for these men is like these young men especially, is to, and actually what I think women started doing, which almost like created this situation, is and this sounds silly, but like pick up hobbies and like things that you are interested in. Like I can't tell you how many women I know. Oh my God, like even Taylor. Like Taylor does all of these like fun little craft stuff, and that is like it's interesting. It's like it's something to a way to spend your time. It's something interesting to talk about with other people who also do that same thing. Like that type of stuff is so important. And I think when people are focused less on like finding a partner and more on doing things that they love, developing the things that they're interested in, like do that, focus on that, lock in on that, and think people will come. The people that you're interested in will come to you. Just it's like kind of if you're searching so hard and you're not doing any work to develop who you are, the things that you like and enjoy doing, like then you just sort of have you've given yourself away to this like whole thing.
I've also noticed that even once you're in actual relationships, if you don't keep your individuality and I don't know, have anything to talk about with your partner, if your partner's just it, like that's it for you besides maybe working, I feel like I've seen that create so many issues where people just they don't have their own personhood, I guess. And I feel like that is just as harmful when you're already in a relationship too, because I feel like that can turn things sour pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, the first partners I started to get was after I stopped to look for finding connection and started to look for myself. And the first partner I met was at the courses when we study together the same thing. So like when you stop looking for people that you want to please and start looking for yourself, then you will start noticing that there are people that might actually like you, not the thing you do, but like but yourself, your person.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. This was really great. I'm so glad you called in.
Thank you a lot. I learned a lot. I feel like I connected with you on some good level. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was nice.
Yeah, I think that was a good conversation, honestly.
I have to pick up Bonnie. She's yelling at me. Hold on.
Chat, I want to know what your hobbies are. Can you tell me? I feel like some people have the coolest hobbies ever. Like my husband will do these things called, I think they're called game jams or something, where you basically create your own video game and then you submit it to a competition. And I think stuff like that is so cool because he'll be in one room like making a video game and I'll be in the other room making something else, and it's just fun. It's cool.
That's really fun. And there's actually there's a really great sex therapist, very famous sex therapist named Esther Perel. And she, in one of her books, she talks about how each partner should have their own, she calls it a secret garden.
Yes.
And it's like this thing that you do on your own that you enjoy, that brings you, either brings you joy or makes you feel like reduce your stress or whatever it is, something you're passionate about. And part of the function of that is also so that you have something to talk about with your partner. If you do everything together all the time, then you get to the end of the day and you're sitting with each other and you're like, well,
like, okay.
Yeah. And so that's important too.
I feel like you want to stay interesting for like to stay in healthy relationships. I don't know. That's how I view it. Not like you have to try really hard to be an interesting person, but just have things, like you said, that are your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's see. Do we have... Lux, do we have a show schedule? Perhaps.
Yeah, one second.
Okay, thanks. Also, guys, Bonnie no longer has.
She's licking you.
Yes, and she has no front teeth anymore. They're all gone. She only has some back teeth left. I know.
Does that mean that means now she's only a herbivore?
Yeah.
Not
actually, no. What's going on instead is she only ever eats like wet food because that's the only thing that she can really effectively chew.
Yeah.
Oh,
girl.
And part of it, and also now her tongue is literally always sticking out because there's nothing to keep it in.
Oh no, that's so cute though. But
wait, Bonnie, here, look in the camera, Bonnie, just once.
Wait, is that why? Like I don't know. I feel like I always see Chihuahuas and like pugs always sticking out their tongues.
Any dogs that have really small mouths, it's really hard to keep them clean, so they rot and their teeth end up falling out. And so that's why
now when I see it, now every time I see it, I used to be like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Now I'm gonna be like, no.
I know. That's what you know what? But like they don't care. Like she does not give a shit. She has not lost her zest for life or her zest for food. Like she just doesn't. Like it does not affect her. And you know what? One of like the best things my dog trainer ever said to me was that we humans put our human emotions on dogs, and our dogs don't have those same emotions. Like we made up that they're upset that they don't have teeth. They don't give a shit.
Right.
They don't care.
Right.
So,
I feel like they're not sitting there contemplating it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, really miss when I had my full set of teeth.
Yeah.
They just kind of move on with life. Also, I saw someone in the chat say for their hobby who sent a super chat that they make piñatas. And if you're being serious, that's so cool. I've never really heard of someone doing that, but that's so cool. I love that.
That's a great hobby. A great hobby. We have a show schedule, so I will read through what our next week is gonna look like. I do think we're gonna have a show. Jimmy's gonna have his show after this one. I know he wasn't feeling so great, so I guess I don't know if we'll get confirmation of if he is up to it or not, but hopefully he will have his show after hours today. Tomorrow we have the hang up at 6 p.m. with Matt and Jimmy. You know what? And now I'm feeling like earlier today he told me he was not feeling well and he didn't have the energy to do the podcast, Forrest and Austin. And on Monday the 9th, we have Skeptalk at 6 p.m. with Forrest and Erica. So I'm sure that will be very short and brief. And then you and I are back next Tuesday, and it'll be great. Okay. I see Jovan and Ari. Okay, so Jovan is taking over for Jimmy today. Okay, great.
It felt so weird to go today because I was doing a live earlier with RFR, and it felt weird doing it twice because we had people come up too and talk to them.
Oh,
I've been talking to people all day.
Wow. Super fun. So like, I feel like because there are many days where I'm really not talking very much. When I do have a big talking day, I like lose my voice at the end of the day.
That's actually so funny.
It's so crazy.
I haven't experienced that, but my social battery depletes like no other. And then I feel like I'm recovering for a couple of days. That's why there was I told like the person who was running the Recovery from Religion Live, I was like, listen, I have a strong cutoff time because I need a couple hours to chill. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be an ugly person.
Oh my God. I literally last week, I think, after chewed gum, oh my God, I think my future sister-in-law is gonna come and hang out with us. Wow, that's exciting. Anyways, I'm sorry. I know. We have people visit. It's impossible for me to miss any of my people in New York because they are literally all here. They're all here all the time. That. It's great. But last week I did the show, and afterwards, Oh, YouTubers who time to restart your video streams. YouTubers who just got audio zapped. Can people not hear us? Okay. You guys let us know if you can hear us or not. I'm talking about something not important. So hopefully if you can't hear us, that's okay. Afterwards, Kevin called me and I literally was like, I need nonverbal time. I need no one to speak to me. And I need nonverbal time. Thank you so much.
It's
Thank
funny you
so
say
much.
that because I quite literally just said that an hour before the show started, where my husband was like talking to me and I'm like, I love you. This is my nonverbal time for like at least an hour, please.
Yeah. I need
personal.
nonverbal time is very important. Very important. Okay,
Same.
cool. It sounds like we were skipping a little, or at least I was, but we're back to normal as of now. Okay, great. Okay, we do have another call, and before we take this call, we do have lines that are open, and I would like for all of the people who are so brave in all of our comments, calling me a whore every day of my life. And
please call in.
Please call in. I'd love for you to just say that on the air. That would be good. The people who are in Taylor's comments
saying I'm possessed by demons. Where are you guys?
Where are you guys?
I was stitched by this guy the other day and I went through his comments and I have never had so many people call me demonic or like a demon. They said I was demonic or the demons had me, and then there was like 3 comments where they're like, look at her eyes, she has dead eyes, you can tell by her eyes. I'm like,
oh my God, they do the same shit to Promise.
They always go for the eyes and I'm like, shut up. Like, no, shut up.
And the real tea is you just have brown eyes.
Yeah, exactly. What you trying to say? Like,
what are you trying to say?
You don't like dark colored eyes. Like, right. I can't help that.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy.
It's such a funny comment too, because it makes me just want to make videos like staring at the camera, not saying anything.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like, look at my demonic eyes. Apparently,
yeah, look into my eyes.
I also like Promise has I think she's done this before where she's posted pictures like in response to people saying her eyes are demonic, they're black, blah blah blah. She's posted pictures of her like as a child with her eyes exactly the same, and she's like, so was I was a Christian demonic at this period of time. Yeah, was I demonic then too? Like, what are you talking about?
She was a baby demon at that point.
Yes, a baby demon.
It was stewing.
Yes, exactly. That's so crazy. All right, should we take this call? And then, guys, we have lines that are open. So if you do want to call in, now is a good night to do so. And you can argue with us and you can chat with us and do whatever. We are here for a little while longer. So feel free to call in. But we are going to take a call from Vince, who's calling from Tennessee. Hello, Vince.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hello. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I've been long trying to get on with you guys, and it's so surreal to finally be here.
Yay.
And I have to put the record straight. Taylor, when you asked if I was serious about the piñatas, I absolutely am. It is extremely important to me.
Do you like sell them?
But
or you just make them for fun? Do you sell them or do you just make them for fun?
So I make them for fun. I'm open to selling them. So if you have a commission, I'd be happy to negotiate. But at the very least, I use it as an excuse to invite people over because I'm really weird about having company because I feel like I need like a good reason, and piñatas are my good reason. So.
So wait, so you make the piñatas and then you have people over to do the piñata?
Oh yeah. And these are big boy piñatas. I mean, they're usually about my size, so it's beautiful.
I love that so much.
Wait, Vince, you have a video of a giant piñata monster you made on your channel.
Wait, I want to see it.
You guys, I hope it's okay that I'm sharing this, but
no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Okay. On his if you go to the comment, for his comment about making piñatas, you can go and see he has a giant. Actually, both of these are 2 videos, and both of them are humongous.
Why can't I go to the account? What the heck? I do have a question. So is it made out of like cardboard, like Mod Podge, or like what? How do you make them?
So it depends. So the monster that you see, that one was mostly cardboard. So that was one of the earlier ones I made. But if there's any round shape, then it usually is just like exactly 5 layers of paper mache paper plus 3 layers of tissue paper. But yes, it's either paper mache or cardboard usually.
How did you get? Not to be like interviewing you about piñatas when I know you called for something else.
Feel free.
But how did you get into doing this?
So it was essentially, I was seeing a therapist and I was having this kind of crisis of like, I don't know what to do with my life. And then she was like, hey, just like list out a bucket list of things. And so I did. And then one of them was make a piñata. Okay, well, then why did I put that there? It was essentially have people over and make a piñata. And I thought it would just be efficient to do 2 birds with 1 stone, because I had this like whole thing where I'm like, there are things you do as a kid that you just don't do anymore as an adult, but there's not like a reason.
Yes.
Like nobody flies kites anymore. You know what I mean? So like piñatas.
Okay, I finally see it. Oh, did he drop?
Did he drop?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I better not have.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I see a huge piñata. That is so cool. And it I love that you did it, because like, you know, there's so many things we did growing up that we don't do anymore. I do that shit all the time. I'm like healing my inner child every single day, and it's great. I'm having a great time in my 30s being a child. So I love that. That's so cool. I honestly low-key want to make one sometime now. So if I ever make one, I'm going to send you a picture of it. I'm going to find your profile and somehow get that to you.
Would be thrilled. I will say, I'm not trying to plug my social media. It's just, it sounds like you guys are interested in the piñatas. I have like 10 more on the Instagram of the same name, if you're curious, but I'm not trying to plug it. I'm a teacher. I don't need the social media stuff. Like I love if you're interested, there's more to see.
Well, I am. So
awesome.
I'm following you.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Vince. All right. So please tell us what you originally called about, now that we've harassed you fully and interviewed you thoroughly about your piñata making.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So it's something that I've thought about for quite a while, and I'm not sure if it's me just being weird and crazy or if it's a legitimate idea, but I've come to understand that I may be misinterpreting affection, like if I have a girl that I'm friends with, right? Or maybe, you know, like there's like this feeling that I think is often mistaken for like a romantic or sexual interest. And like, then I think that at first, and then I think about it and I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to do these things with her, and maybe I don't want a relationship, but like when I don't think about it, it feels like I do. You know what I mean? So you're trying. The first, go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
So I guess the first question is like, which I guess by your it sounds like the answer may be yes. Is this like an actual thing, or is it me just trying to rationalize me being horny for somebody?
So explain it to me again. Like what are you trying to figure out the difference between like sexual affection and romantic affection?
Or I guess it's sexual/romantic affection versus like a more general affection.
Well, so the spectrum of the way that people experience arousal is pretty wide. And so especially honestly in this line community, there's a lot of people who are on like asexual spectrums, and like, you know, people who are demisexual and like all of these different things. And so anything that you feel is valid. And, you know, I feel like you're looking for clarity and like a name basically of what you're experiencing. But I'll tell you that if you are trying to determine if it's like regular, just like, oh, I just really love and appreciate this person versus like sexual and romantic affection. The big thing is if you're feeling any level of like arousal, then you might be more sexually or romantically attracted to them. If it feels like you just have like deep appreciation for them and you don't feel any level of arousal, like you don't really want to kiss them, you don't really want to have sex with them, you don't really like, and you're just feeling a deep sense of partnership or like closeness with them, that feels more non-sexual, aromantic, and yeah, and that just might be where your type of attraction lies.
Okay. I appreciate that description because that does clarify and I guess validate that there is in fact a distinction. So not to make this like more complicated than it needs to be, because there's kind of two directions I could take it from this. I think I'll start with, I guess, the one I would have started with. Because I found that in the past, and this might just be a plug for just like maybe guys are watching this and they're experiencing something similar and they'll learn something, I guess. I found that when I was in my early 20s, that I kind of just assumed that this feeling I had for whatever girl I was interacting with in any context was the sexual romantic. And so I would get very much in my head about it and be like, and at some point I became the type of person who just openly just says what I think because I'm very impatient. Is like, hey, like I either want to have sex with you or I want to go on a date with you or either of those things you would be interested in. And they either say yes or no. And that usually changes the dynamic a little bit. And I think open communication, great. But as I've gotten older, I'm thinking, did I even want any of those things? Or was it like something else I was feeling?
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh, sorry, I just accidentally muted myself. You can't really know for sure because we're so heavily influenced by like what we think the expectation is in that moment. Like you probably were thinking, well, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm going to do it, you know? But I think it's not super important to determine how true all of that stuff was to you then, because even like for myself, when I look back at people that I've like gone on dates with or like fully dated and had relationships with, and I think like, what did I even like about that person? I don't even know. It's like, you can't really, our memory is not reliable in that way. So I wouldn't think about it too much or stress about it too much. I would just honestly take each new relationship like as it comes, and don't worry so much about the label or the word that you want to like put alongside how you feel right away, and just be aware of what your wants and needs are with that person and communicate that the best you can, the best way you know how. Like just be as clear as you can. Like Brene Brown says, clear is kind, and that's the way. Just clear is kind. Say like share how you feel, and keep your partner or, you know, prospective partner updated as things develop and change, because you might feel one way in the beginning and it might totally change, and it is your right to, you reserve the right to do that too.
I also wanted to add, I don't know if this will relate to any of your situations, but I know in the past there were multiple times where I was so worried about somebody liking me or somebody giving me validation that I didn't stop and ask myself, do I even like this person at all? Like if I remove myself from the equation, what would I like genuine, which sounds obvious, but I feel like people can get very caught up in that if they're looking for any kind of validation. And I just feel like that was helpful for me to oftentimes take myself out of the equation and be like, is the thing I like about them that they like me, or I think they're interested in me, or is it that I think they're actually cool or I like their personality or whatever?
Okay. And I very much appreciate, I guess, that kind of insight. And I think this might translate to my kind of second tangential issue in this space. Because when it comes to, well, maybe it is I just really like and appreciate them in just a completely irrelevant, or not irrelevant, but non-sexual manner. And I do recognize, and I can kind of identify that in some cases, but this bleeds over to a problem I was actually going to call about like a year ago. And I just got too lazy to call on Tuesday nights. Is majority of my friends are women, and a lot of times when I used to use dating apps, I would like start with the intention to date, and then we would end up becoming friends usually, and that's totally cool with me. Like, hey, friends are friends, you know? But what I've noticed is that I've then started to find difficulty making friends with guys because, like, I don't know. I don't even know if these two things are related, but I guess that deep respect, whatever emotion, I then feel with like guy friends that I'm close to. And then I think, and I mean this, I understand this sounds bad, but I think this is the best way to communicate this feeling is I feel cringe saying this. It almost feels like hanging out with guys. Like, I know this is not true and this is ridiculous, but it gives me the feeling of, oh, having guy friends is gay. Like, you not knowing me, that probably sounds like super cringe and like whatever, but like as in the feeling that I have towards a lot of guys that I talk to is similar to the feeling that I had about the girls that I once or still wanted to date.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Not, again, I'm not in like a sexual way, but that kind of feeling of that affection. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I guess you're like making that association. But it's interesting that you're also aware that that feeling is coming up and is also not really the truth of the situation. I think, I mean, it's tough because a part of me is like, I think that if you got a sex therapist that you could talk to for a little while, you would be able to unpack all of this stuff like over time and do that with a person who's aware of the spectrum of arousal and desire and, and all of these things. And also be able to have a conversation with you about like how that informs your relationship with other men, because it almost feels like you're like crossing your wires a little bit, but you're crossing your wires. And so like to get your house in order, you might want more support in like an ongoing way and like unpack a bunch of the stuff. And it's also, I think being able to check in with yourself and say, okay, I really love and care about this person as a friend. Do I want to kiss them? Do I want to have a sexual relationship with them? And the answer is no. Then that's then that's the answer. Then it's not a sexual thing. It's not a romantic thing. It's platonic. You just have like very deep affection for them. And the thing that would make you gay is wanting to have any sort of sexual anything, kissing, having sex, that kind of stuff. The other types of affection are not an indication of you being gay. Unless chat feels like maybe I'm off in that way, but I don't think that that's the case.
Oh no, yeah, it definitely isn't. It's that the way I try to like, I guess, describe the feeling that I feel whenever I feel like I'm like being vulnerable or close with a guy friend. You know what I mean? Like I get that like, this is gay kind of like thing in my mind. Like, but not in like the childish, anyway, you get it. Like, it's like, I'm aware that it's like not the right interpretation, but like it's feeling I get.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like you're crossing your wires and you know that you are, and also like like your instinct is to have that line of thought. So I think you would have a really interesting and transformative experience with a sex therapist that you really enjoy talking to, because they'll be able to really unpack all of it. Like what spectrum of attractiveness or attractiveness, what spectrum of attraction, not attractiveness, that's crazy, and desire you might be on, and how you feel about your relationships with men, why maybe the impulse is for you to have like even if it's like a fleeting moment where you're like, this is gay, I'm gay, like what's happening, like where that impulse comes from, and be able to like really unpack that experience.
Do you feel like those opinions you think are put there by other people because you like, I know a lot of men are taught that, you know, you shouldn't be having, I guess, I feel like a lot of times when men have friends, they're not talking about super deep stuff. So do you ever feel like maybe you're not even supposed to have deep conversations with men, or else it's like wrong in some kind of way? Does that make sense?
No, I know what you mean, and I feel like I understand that sentiment, but it's not quite that. I think maybe when I was younger, like as in like a kid, my brothers were kind of pushing that a little bit, but not anymore.
Okay.
My suggestion,
but
is find that sex therapist. You'll have such an interesting experience with them, and I think it'll be fun for you to be able to like unpack in a safe space, you know, really like dig in there and see what comes up for you.
I will take your I'll take your suggestion. I just might. I'll tell them at the triage that a girl on a call-in show told me to do this. No, but I mean that like good way, in a good, not you know.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I love it.
But I do appreciate you guys taking the time, chat, finally getting to have my voice meet your. Okay, that sounds fucking weird. Anyway, yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Vince. We'll talk to you soon, and we're very excited about the pinatas.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I'll be around.
All right. Bye, Vince.
Bye.
I feel like every time we have a call where people are talking about the asexuality spectrum, or like, I don't want to like put that label on Vince, because I don't really, you know, it's not my place to do that. But every time we talk about like the spectrum of attraction, I feel like I learn more and more, because it's one thing to like read about, it's another thing to like really hear the lived experiences of people like trying to navigate where your attraction lies.
Right.
So interesting.
Right. And I also feel like sometimes people feel pressure to be one thing or another. And like you said, there's such a broad, I don't know, it covers so much that I think it like can be confusing of like, am I this or am I not? And if I am this, then I shouldn't be doing that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. All right. What was I going to say? We do have some calls. We also have space for a spicy caller too. If there's anyone who wants to call and talk to us about why they think that their God is the most important one. If they want to talk to us about why abortion is bad and wrong and evil and whatever. We have space for that conversation too. But we do have some other calls that we can get to. I want to also say that please make sure that you're getting your super chats in of $5 or more so we could read them at the end of the show. And that's it. Those are all of my announcements. Oh, you know what? While we're doing announcements, I'm just going to tell you, go to patreon.com/calltheline and you can be a patron that supports this show and all of the other shows on the line. You can get bonus content and be a deeper part of this community. Oh, my YouTube just crashed. That's crazy. So anyways, go to patreon.com/calledline. And if you're interested in another way to support us, you can go to linemerch.com and you can look for other kinds of merch to rep your favorite shows or the channel as a whole. And And that's it. Taylor, do you have a preference between the calls that we have in the queue?
Yeah, I like the second one, I think.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that's like a little different. Okay, I'm going to pull in George, who's calling from Australia. Hello, George.
Hi, George.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
I've called a few times. Good. I've called a few times about unrelated kind of topics, but so for background, my mum's Orthodox Christian, I think Coptic. I'm not really too sure. I myself am a queer man, and it's a bit of a weird situation because like since I was like 17, she had been like really supportive about it. Like one of my aunts came out or something, and that helped her to not be homophobic. I don't know, but but she constantly tries to like evangelize me, like get me to join her church, and like coerce me into going to different events. And I know it doesn't come from a hateful place, but like the few times I've gone, I've seen, you know, I'm obviously not the kind of person that's accepted there. And I've read into what that specific church believes, and it's obvious that that they think I'm going to hell, and you know I should be with a woman and whatever. And it's just not like a safe place for me. And I try to talk to my mom about it, and it's always like cyclical. Like I just feel like nothing gets through to her. She can't understand. I don't know. Like, do you have any tips on how to? Like, I know I'm not saying like she has to believe what I believe, but she can't even like understand an iota of what I'm trying to tell her, like about how, you know, her church is hateful or how her religion doesn't accept me. And I don't want to convert her to to atheism, but how can I make her understand that I can't be a churchgoer, I can't do all that.
Yeah. I think it's extra hard because people obviously tie their identity up in their religion and their belief system. So I feel like if you're asking any religious person to evaluate something about their religion that, oh my gosh, am I freezing? Okay. That they might be incorrect about, or they might want to change their minds about, I feel like they take it as some kind of personal attack on their identity. At least that's what I've experienced a lot, because obviously religion most of the time is so black and white, where wrong is always wrong and right is always right. So therefore there's no room for nuance or taking in new information. Especially I feel like if you have been that way for a long time, it's even harder for you to take in new information. And that's not really making excuses for anybody, but I've just noticed that when their beliefs are so closely tied to their entire identity, it's even harder. Because I've actually had conversations with loved ones about like homophobia, and they will not receive like any even other topics. If I have, let's say we're talking about a specific topic and I have proof of what I'm saying, like studies or whatever backing up what I'm saying, even still, if I present information that's objectively true, they will not accept it or say that that's like a flawed, I don't know, a flawed study or whatever. And it feels pretty impossible. So it's hard for me to say how you can really get her. I mean, that's a really tough position.
It makes it harder as well, because I know my mom, like, she is mutable. Like, she can change. Like, she used to be homophobic when I was, all the way up till I was like 17. She was like quite homophobic and traditionalist. And like, I know she's a person that can change and listen. But when I try to talk to her about like religion and the church, and I try to present like what I think are logical arguments, it always just kind of goes in circles. It's like she's not hearing me. Like, she's talking through me, and at the end of the day, it's like she like always brings it back to like she's had experiences and stuff like that. You know, like Jesus came to her or whatever, and I think it's mental illness or something, like a hallucination, but I can't say that. I don't know. It's just it's really difficult to talk to her. So she always brings it back to like, are you coming to church? When are you coming to church? And I want to have a relationship with her, but it's making it difficult.
So are you saying that she's like not homophobic, but she won't address the fact that her church is, or do you just think there's still some of that there but she's like not as homophobic as she was?
I just don't think she understands. I honestly don't think she's read like extensive scripture. I don't really think she understands what Orthodox Christianity actually believes, like the tenets of it. I think she just kind of believes in it because she does, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's also hard because it's not like it's not like the religious belief system is really like based on logic. So I feel like when you try and use logic to get them out of it, oftentimes it doesn't work because they're not relying on that. They're relying on things like faith, which is quite literally about believing things without having any proof behind them. So yeah, that makes it extra hard.
Yeah.
Would you
I don't know how to like at the very least set a boundary.
I think that's what I was going to suggest is I think you just tell her, I want to have a relationship with you. You're such an important person in my life and I love you so much. And even if you have to say right now, religion is not something that I'm open to. Maybe in the future that door opens up again. It probably won't, but that might make her feel better. But you could say, maybe in the future it will, but having this conversation with you over and over again is making it really hard to even consider. And so I would really love to put a boundary down to just keep religious talk off of the table so that I can be respectful of your beliefs and I can continue to have a like really fun and loving relationship with you and see what she says. Cause really like that is the truth. It's like that type of stuff. I remember once, a family friend of mine pissed me the fuck off. Honestly, I should have known from then. This was like I was in high school and I should have known then that like this was going to be in some way a trajectory of my life because she randomly started talking to me about how when I have children one day, that's when I will believe in God. And I was like, why the fuck would you even say that? Like you don't know that. That's a crazy thing to say.
There's always that saying about when you get old, like the older you get, the more conservative you get, and I don't know why that's a thing.
I don't know.
Had the opposite experience, but anyway.
Yeah, I actually had a therapist, like I'm not with him anymore, that told me that I would, I would eventually become, like he implied that I would be straight when I was older. It was insane.
So
what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like people get more gay as they get older. When I see a person who's like fully straight, I'm like, grow up. And you're not.
That's so funny.
Be so serious. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, yeah. So like, I remember having that conversation with her and thinking, like, I don't know if it's just like the spitefulness or the stubbornness in me, but I was like, well, you have just pushed me even further away from ever considering this ever because what you just said is so insane and annoying. So yeah, and it's kind of like when people are very religious and they're doing this whole like evangelizing thing, it's like it also is a silly way to do it because if your religion is giving you such a wonderful quality of life, show me the quality of life that you have. Show me how your life is better because you have this in you. You actually shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to convince me of anything. If this really is worth my time, worth my energy, I should be able to look at the way that you live your life and be like, wow, whatever the hell they're doing, I want to do that. So when people do this thing where they're like, have you heard about Jesus Christ? I'm like, no. And you're so annoying. And I have no desire to do what you're doing. This is crazy. And I don't want to be as annoying as you are to me in this moment. You are not inspiring me at this time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think just set the boundary down of like, I want to continue to have this really fun, loving relationship with you. I really have a hard time with the religion conversation. And maybe we can have that conversation later on in life. But having it come up when you know that it's not really a part of my life right now makes me feel not heard and not listened to and not respected. And I know you don't want me to feel that way. So I just want to be clear that that's how I feel when we have these conversations and you know that I'm not open to them. So I would really love to just take it off the table, even if it's just for now, so that we can maintain our relationship, because that's my priority.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm always very, very hesitant to set boundaries with my mum because she takes everything as rejection, but I think I just got to do it. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like straight up tell her this is not rejection at all. This is me wanting to make sure that our relationship stays strong. Like, this is the opposite of rejection. This is me loving you so much that like I want to have this conversation even though it's hard, because my priority is making sure that we still have closeness. Like, it's the opposite of rejection. It's love. And if it makes you feel better, you could also write this all down in like a little letter or an email. I remember, I think Promise did that. She wrote her parents an email.
Oh, wow.
Because it was easier to like get the whole, all of how she felt down in one place without the influence of other people starting to respond to her, and then she has to respond to them, and then it gets escalated, and then you like lose track of what you actually want to say, and maybe you're saying stuff based on like, you know, feeling triggered or attacked or whatever. Like, writing it all down might also be helpful. And you could write it all down in a nice little letter, and you can give it to her and say, you know, the same kind of stuff. I love you so much. And so I spent some time writing you a little letter, and I would love if you read it, and then we can talk about it whenever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm just going to do it. Thank you.
Do it. You'll feel so much better after you do.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you so much
in.
for calling, George. And keep us updated. Oh my God, hello. Keep us updated. Let us know how it all goes. And best of luck.
Will do.
You got it. It'll be...
Have a good rest of your show.
Thank you. Rip the Band-Aid off. You got it.
Bye.
See you guys.
Oh, okay.
When he said have a good rest of your show, I said you too.
Yeah.
But no, I always think the boundary thing is good, but like I feel like when people specifically ask, how do I get them to see certain things? I feel bad saying like you might not ever.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
there's really no way to like force that, you know?
Yeah, and that's the truth. You might not. And it's not really about, at a certain point, I think you have to like let go of the feeling of wanting them to understand, because whether it's religion, whether it's religion or literally anything else, like parents are, first of all, from a different generation. They also are just people. They were kids once. They're doing the best that they can with the tools that they have. So like, have some grace for them, and do what you can to be kind of like goal oriented. Is the goal to be able to have some sort of relationship with them? Then you know, don't worry so much about them understanding everything about you, and let's find a way to like make this relationship continue without that.
I feel like one of the healthiest things that I've learned to accept, well, obviously not perfect with it, but like basically just accepting being misunderstood and being okay with that and just being like their opinions and thoughts are their business. It doesn't like it is what it is. And yeah, I've had a lot of boundary conversations that did not go well because it turned into you're too sensitive or whatever. And it was like basic shit. Like, let's not talk about politics or religion. And it's like, you're too sensitive. Like, what are you talking about? I should be able to talk about whatever I want. And I've had to like reset boundaries like maybe a dozen times. But
Yeah.
then I also have done things where they still didn't respect my boundary. And so I just stopped. Like, I will not respond to that kind of like conversation. I just refuse.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's in person or over text. If it's in person, I'll literally get on my phone and start scrolling because they know what my boundary is, and that's that. I don't feel bad about it.
You should, and you shouldn't. That's like that's honestly, that's a very non-combative way to be like, I'm not open to this conversation.
Right.
So, and you know that, and you're continuing to have this conversation. And so this is no longer me dismissing you and it being taken as like a rude thing. This is, I'm just not, this is, I'm not interested in this conversation, and it's disrespectful for people to mess with your boundaries and cross them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it would be like overwhelming where somebody knows you have a different opinion, so it just pisses them off internally. So they're just like poking and poking and poking. It's like it's so weird. It's like you have to heal from that. Like you have to be able to accept that I have different opinions than you and like move on with your life. I don't know. I feel like it's so unhealthy to be like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it, so I have to take it out on them. It's like,
I know. Well, and it's also like it's tough because with religion, like evangelizing is such a big part of it. Like saving other people is a part of it. Like it's part of the DNA of many people's experience with it. And it's weird because it's so different than like they say like don't talk about money, sex, or politics, or money, religion, and politics, something like that. It's like those other things you can just like, I mean, politics now is a different thing than it was, I think, when that phrase was, but there is a way where like it doesn't really matter. Like you could just not talk about those things. But if you're called to evangelize constantly.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the hardest part about, I think, leaving evangelicalism, because they make people feel responsible for saving souls. And so I've had people in my life where, I mean, I can't take responsibility for their emotions, but they would like sob at me not being like Christian. And it was actually painful to see them like that, because I mean, that's their real emotion. And I've never invalidated it, but it's also like, yeah, it's hard because they can't separate it. They literally can't. And I don't really blame them for specific religious things, but I'm still not participating. But I understand that boundary in itself is like way harder than just ignoring a specific topic because it's their entire identity, entire belief system. So yeah.
It's tough. And also when the stakes are as high as they think they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've had this conversation with my mom before, where, because every now and then, like we all set boundaries with her, me and my siblings, that like every now and then she used to send us some like, I don't know, some shit that some nun said, and she's like, look at this, isn't that nice? And we're all like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, really, what do you want me to say to that? And like, you are putting yourself in a position where I have to be a bitch now. And you know that I don't want to have this conversation with you.
Right.
So we've had conversations with her where we're just kind of like, it is way easier for me to respect your belief and your faith if you just keep me out of it. Just keep me out of it. Like if you want to go to church and you want to pray for me, then by all means do that quietly and privately.
Right.
But
right.
if you're asking me to participate, you're not going to like how the participation feels.
Right. Like, it's not going to be healthy for anyone. So why are we doing it? But you're right with what you said. And I've said this while setting boundaries. If I didn't give a shit, I would just stop talking to you and I would cut contact. Like, I think some people don't realize it's like, do you think I like having to do this or being confrontational or whatever? I spent so many years of my life avoiding any conflict and confrontation for so many years, and it fucked me up. Like, it's not good. And like, now that I do it, it's like they feel like it's some kind of big betrayal because I've never been like this in the past. But I'm like, it's because I want our relationship to continue. And if it's going to continue, this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine though what it's like. And actually, I bet you kind of can. I can't imagine what it's like to really believe that like this person you love so much is legitimately going to go to hell because they don't believe. That's scary.
No, it is. And I feel like I didn't really have to experience that because I literally didn't know anyone who wasn't Christian, which is so crazy. But I know that if I was growing up and like one of my siblings told me they were atheist, I would have like threw up, shit myself, slid down the wall, and been like, please. It sucks because it's like,
that's so funny.
I do feel bad for people. Like, I recognize their real emotions, but it's also like you can recognize that it's like fucked up also because at the end of the day, also you're believing that it's justified that I'm burning in hell forever.
Yeah.
So to you, justice will be served.
Right.
And that's fucked up.
God, that's crazy. I've never thought about that's such a great way to put it.
Yes. It's
like
disturbing.
for you. You think justice is being served, and you believe in a person who believes that. Yeah, and they're going to be worshiping the person doing or the deity doing it to me for all of eternity. And it's like, you're okay with that? That's so freaking whack. Crazy. Yeah, that is freaking whack. Also, we have one more call and we'll take it in 1 second. But you talking about throwing up and shitting reminded me. I was over the weekend scrolling on my phone, like on Reels, and this video came up of this woman who's a skydiver. And she is not doing regular skydiving. This woman, like, they had a hot air balloon above the line of clouds, and there was a slide, like a playground slide.
Oh, she's doing like stunts in the sky.
Stunts in the fucking sky, Taylor. And one of them was like one of those big like bouncy things that you could put in a lake, and like you sit on one side and someone bounces on the other, and it in the sky. And then she's just free falling for the longest time. You want to talk about shitting in your pants. I watched that video and I was with this like group of friends, and I was like, what's it called when a baby has the craziest shit that it goes up their back?
Blowout?
Blowout. And so one of the girls said, oh, that's a blowout. And I was like, the way that I would have a blowout. There is no way.
Like skydiving in general or doing the tricks? Which
Both.
one?
Both. There's no fucking way.
I've skydived before. It's not that bad.
And
it's not that bad.
And what in you made you feel like you had to have the experience of falling through the sky?
I actually did it because growing up, I used to watch this video that that was taken of my dad skydiving, and it literally in the background is a song that's like, welcome to the danger zone. Anyways, it was so corny. It was very like 90s, but he was just like having the best time. And I was like, damn, I'm going to do that sometime. And so me and my siblings did it, right? Me and my two siblings. And mind you, it only cost us like $80. It shouldn't only cost $80. If it's only costing $80, something is wrong. Okay, so just real quick, me and my brother got in the plane. It's very small. It is not sturdy at all. My brother grabs the part of the plane that's literally wrapped in like duct tape, and the guy turns to him. He's like, "Do not touch anything that's in duct tape." And I'm like, and I was like freaking out. But then it was fun. Then I
No.
And I made it. I'm alive.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do tricks.
And here's the thing. I might jump out of a plane if I really truly thought that if I died, I would go to heaven. Like,
Right.
if that were my life, it almost makes more sense that you did this during the period of time where you were very religious, because you had
fuck
no real fear. Who cares?
Fuck it. I'm going to paradise.
Fuck
See you
it.
later. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh my God. It's just, I wish that someone is saying these are mostly AI rendered. I promise you.
I've seen ones that are real where they're like playing poker or some crazy shit.
This woman, I would be shocked if they were AI rendered. I watched so many of her videos because I was like, well, that was the reason why I went down this whole like black hole looking at all of her content, because I was like, surely this is AI. I don't think it is. And then, which also, by the way, when I told Kevin about this, he was like, that's AI. And I was like, it is not.
People have done this for like a decent amount of time. Like I've seen that stuff has been around. Now I'm sure it's gotten more extreme and more creative, but that stuff's been around.
It's, oh my God. And one of the videos was sponsored by Ford Brazil. They had a Ford truck that they brought into the sky, and they jumped out of it.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean? Like, so that was the like plane or something carrying, like it was strapped to the plane? Like, was I'm trying to imagine this.
It was like bungee corded all over the car, and she was in the car, and the video of her like hanging out of the car, and like based on the wind and how many different angles of this I saw, I would be shocked if it were AI. I'm open to being wrong, but
right.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The shit people do. I'm just like, I get doing like things like whitewater rafting and whatever, but I'm just like, at some point
Taylor,
your adrenaline tolerance is too high, and you're going to die if you
Right. The shit up my back. Up my back.
out.
I'm not trying to. That's not the way that I want to find out if God is real or not.
Are you afraid of heights?
In like a reasonable way. Yeah, like in like a reasonable way. Like I'm okay.
Would you bungee jump? No. Would you go like whitewater rafting in like high rapids?
Yeah, okay. High rapids, I don't know. I'm not really an adrenaline seeker, and I think it's because my anxiety day to day is so high that like
I've had enough.
Literally, like if I'm adrenaline seeking, like maybe I go to a new coffee shop that I've never been to before. That's adrenaline seeking for me at times. So I don't need to.
It's funny because to me, like in my 20s, it was kind of the opposite, where I did like adrenaline because I was depressed. So I'm like, I need to feel something.
Yeah,
so let's jump out of a plane.
That's what that is. Oh my God. It's just, I literally, if I can figure out where her, what her like username is, I'll share it with you. Yeah, you have to send it to me.
Because I've watched that shit.
I was like mesmerized. Like I am not really that scared of heights, but I was getting the fear of heights. Like I felt the fear of heights watching those videos. Oh my God.
Okay, one last thing. I felt that fear today, but it was like claustrophobic stuff. Oh. And the older I get, the more I fear, like the more claustrophobic I get. It's like I just feel like if I were stuck in a situation like that, I would have a heart attack and pass away, like just a scared animal or something. But people were like crawling down inside pyramids. Have you ever seen this?
No, why are people doing that?
I guess to see the inside of the pyramid, but you have to like duck down and it gets smaller and smaller. And I was like,
no,
hell no. And I was watching it and I was like, that sent shivers up my spine because
I have chills thinking about it right now.
Yeah, it's awful. I don't like it.
This is good. We can share each other's biggest fears via reels.
Yes, exactly. And
what scared you on the internet today?
And someone said cave diving. Yeah, the cave stuff is stupid too. Oh my gosh, I can't even think about it.
Oh my god, what's that movie where they do the cave dive, or they like what the hell is it?
Where
Someone
they
in the chat will know.
Is it like the rescuing that soccer team or something, or is it like
No.
There's a lot of famous stories of people like dying or having to be rescued from.
This is a movie, and it's a movie of a group of girls who go into a cave, and it's a horror movie, and it's the name of it is escaping me right now.
Wait, are you talking about As Above, So Below? Or no?
No, but I want to watch that. You just reminded me.
Wait. I have to tell you, I've watched it like 12 times. Like, it's literally my favorite horror movie. I'm obsessed with it. So
okay.
I was like excited that maybe that's what you're talking about.
That's the Paris catacombs, right?
Yes. And then me and my friend loved it so much that we went to Paris and we went to the catacombs. We're like, this is so cool.
That is okay. Between that and the skydiving, your will to live is lower than I thought. What do you mean?
Yeah, like I said, I gotta feel something, you know? I gotta remind myself I'm still with the living sometimes.
That is so funny. The movie is called The Descent, by the way.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen that one. I need to
You'll
watch
like it.
that.
You'll really like it. If you like that kind of stuff, you'll love it. And oh my God, someone said The Goonies. I love The Goonies.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
It's great. And I knew chat would immediately know what it is. And they did immediately know what it is.
No, but when you watched As Above, So Below, please message me and let me know how you felt about it.
I will. It's been like on my list and I kind of forgot about it, so I'm glad you brought it up.
So good.
All right, we have one more call and then we are going to read super chats and wrap up and send you guys over to the next show. So get your last super chats in while you can. You tell us what scared you on the internet recently.
Yeah, tell us.
Oh my God. All right, we have Ben. I'm gonna pull Ben in. Who's calling from Alabama? Hello, Ben.
Hey.
How's it going?
Your last topic was funny because one of I've had a lot of hobbies, but one of my more eclectic ones I spent many years doing was caving.
No way.
And yeah.
So you're psychotic.
And
no, I'm just kidding.
And
just kidding.
I thought oh man, my friends and I thought The Descent was hilarious.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure.
There's another one called Sanctum that doesn't have like man-eating troglodytes. It's a more realistic one that was really funny because they broke every safety rule there is in caving.
I'm sure watching it as a person who does it in real life safely, it must be you must be watching it and be like, these friggin' idiots.
Yeah, after watching that movie, every time I went on a cave trip, I'd be like, so did everyone bring their road flares and ice axes in case of man-eating troglodytes?
Yes,
that's what that movie's about. Is cave people in there.
Yeah, there are cave people in there. It's good. It's interesting, and you'll like it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
No, it was not
it's
a bad
entertaining.
movie. It was not a bad movie. It's just there's some things we thought were pretty funny, like the road flares and ice axes, which none of us ever bring underground.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so what did you want to talk about today? I see your prompt, but would you like to share with the class who can't see the prompt?
Yeah, I guess, based on your experiences talking to lots of people, I was curious what your suggestions are for talking to young men who are caught up in mega and the manosphere. I mean, I was a young man once, but I was also a massive nonconformist, so a lot of men are seem pretty strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of an ongoing journey, I think, for all of us. Because
yes,
I don't really have an exact answer. The only thing that I can tell you is I think it is more productive to allow people to actually have the conversation with you instead of shutting them down and making them feel stupid or small. Like, I just think that that's not gonna go super well. But for the manosphere guys, I think that sometimes it's helpful. It's like still the same thing where I think you have to show them some level of empathy and kindness and validate how they feel, because what calls people into the manosphere is they're feeling, attacked in some other way, and that feels like a safe space to them. So like, it's not really going to help to continue to attack them. So, and I think it's worth just with people like this, just asking them why. Why do you believe that? And does being a part of the manosphere, has that helped you? Like, have you gotten good results? Are you meeting more women? Are women wanting to interact with you more? Are you making more male friends? Are you making more money? Like, is it actually working for you? Because I can't imagine a single person who is engaging in the manosphere who's actually having success.
Yeah, except for the jackasses who peddle it, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've asked actually, we had that guy Andrew who was calling in a bunch. And I've asked him before. I was like, I said, what do you think if you were to talk to like the fresh and fit guys about this? How do you think that they would respond to the questions that you have? Think about how they would respond to that, to your questions, as compared to how we are responding to your questions in this moment. Because I care about your quality of life. I care about what's true. I care about what keeps you safe in all respects. And I also, like, it doesn't benefit me out in the world to have men who function like that. But for these like manosphere guys, what is their goal? Like, I don't understand what the point of making like this hateful shitbag army of young men is.
Yeah, I figure it's just a way they found to make a buck and assuage their inner sense of worthlessness, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Taylor, do you have any thoughts?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I swear I have different feelings on this every single day.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like I'm way more like I am sympathetic to it in general. Like how it happens and like people are manipulated. And obviously it happens to young men the most. But I think a lot of these dudes don't know people in like healthy, normal relationships, it seems. Like it's hard for me to believe that they do, and then they still look at things this way. I mean, I guess I'm sure they have to see healthy relationships at some point, but I have found that because I've obviously I've gotten in arguments with men like this before plenty of times, and when they try to insult me by saying that like I like no man will ever want me or some dumb shit because they think that's an insult, when I tell them I'm married, it like pisses them off, and I think it's because they want the stereotypes to be true of like, oh, someone who's more progressive or whatever couldn't possibly be in a good relationship with like a man. And it's like, I don't know. I just find that interesting. And I wonder sometimes if that makes them question what they're really being told. I don't know if it does though. And I feel like it's really hard to get to those people if they're set in their ways, because I feel like I've seen this so many times where you can bring up statistics of specific things and they just don't care. And when people don't care, I don't know what to do,
Yeah. No, this sounds good.
I
seems
think
like this is like the latest.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking it's like kind of it's like the latest incarnation of toxic masculinity, which has gone back a long time. I'm Gen X, so we had our own flavor back then. But
yeah.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
I do think the red pill thing is like dying out a little bit. And what I mean by that is like it's still heavily around, but I feel like Andrew Tate and I don't know, Fresh and Fit or whatever really had like a peak period of time. And I feel like that's kind of past for them. And I'm not like the issue is still at hand, don't get me wrong, but I do have hope that it'll get better because I've already seen it get slightly better, even if it might not seem like it. But yeah.
I think, like, again, I think about Andrew a lot, that caller, because he was the person that, like, we had a lot of conversations with. And we always got a little further when we had conversations like that, like with people like Andrew, when we started them with saying, like, coming from a place of understanding. Like, I understand why these people are appealing to you because you're in a place now, like young men are in a place now where, like we were talking about earlier in the show, their value in the world is changing. Like it used to be that men were the primary earner in the household. They were the ones who were doing household work and they, were disciplinarians or whatever. All of these things that where like the male identity has changed so much in the past decade. And on top of that, we're in like a post Me Too world. And so now men are like very nervous about what to say to women, if they say anything at all. And they're kind of like, well, many of them feel like they have to walk on eggshells. They're never going to say the right thing. And they also are told, they're being told that they are they are, I think, misinterpreting when we talk about like the patriarchy and whatever. I think that they really feel personally attacked by that. And so they feel like they're being held responsible for so much of what's going on. And then you have the red pill manosphere side of the internet where they're telling you you're not responsible for anything. And you deserve respect from women, and they are dumber than you and weaker than you. And how could a person, especially when they're young, between those two choices where you're being asked to bear a bigger burden, and take on the responsibility of like the patriarchy as a whole versus this other side where they're telling you, you can do whatever you want. Like you are the man. And so everyone should bend to your will. Of course, that's what they're going to choose. So I think having that conversation with them and saying like, I understand why you feel this way. But you look at these men on these podcasts, it's like I was saying about when religious people evangelize, if you are truly living a life of peace and freedom and joy, you shouldn't have to tell me that. You shouldn't have to tell me that. I should be able to look at you and your lifestyle and be like, what are they smoking? Because I want it. I look at people who are hosting like the Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't want jack shit that they have. They look miserable. And they're angry. And they just like, that is not an aspirational person, you know? So like, I also would encourage them to consider like the people that you look up to and the people you take advice from should be people that you want to be like. Why would you want to be like these guys?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the nonconformist thing is funny for me because it's like, I don't really I listen to people. I'm not big on taking advice.
Yeah. I was
like,
literally thinking about that. Yeah. You're probably like me where like you have to try it yourself.
Yeah, and I want to build my own sense of self, and I see all these people wanting to have somebody else tell them who to be or what they are. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. I was literally thinking about that this weekend because we were talking about how do you raise children that you know are going to prioritize being kind and nice versus like wanting to be like popular and cool. How do you do that? And part of me thought I intend to make my kid very punk and cool and nonconformist. And I think that will do the job for me. I hope that will do the job for me.
My parents are a silent generation, but they're pretty progressive, and
wow,
their tactic with my brothers and I was not to not tell us what to do. They let us discover things for ourselves. So they said there were times when they'd like bite their tongue when we were doing something that they were a bit sus about. Like when I was younger, I did spend some time hanging out with a bunch of evangelicals, even though I've been a atheist since I was born. But that was interesting.
But I'm sure you learned like some level of natural consequence. Like when you make choices that are probably not the ones your parents want you to make, you probably experienced some level of a natural consequence and you learned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and we had a nice place out in the countryside where we could interact with natural laws on a regular basis.
Love that.
See how
I love that.
How nature reacts. Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for calling, Ben. And we're going to get to our little super chats and pass the show off to Jovan and Ari, I think. But we appreciate you calling and we'll talk to you very soon.
Bye, Ben.
I think he already left us. Bye, Ben. I also sometimes I like finish the calls and I'm like, talk to you soon. Like we're friends.
Love ya. Talk to you later.
Literally, love you. Bye. Love you. Mean it. Anyways, all right. Let's get into our super chats, y'all.
Yay.
All right, $5 from Sapphic Hazard. Spooky movie music is my comfort space. Love it. Now Barney music with all the lights off. That's fucking terrifying. Okay.
Like the kids show?
Yeah. I love you. You love me.
I used to fuck with Barney heavy. I went to go see Barney live. I saw Barney live. And it was fire.
It was fire.
Still haven't forgotten about it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
$5 from Estriel. Physics Girl released her first video in 3 years today. After having long COVID, everybody should watch it twice.
Wow. Okay. I don't know who Physics Girl is. Yeah, but I'll check it out. £5 for Mystic Mind Analysis. Worth noting, kink doesn't have to be sexual. Webcomic artist Sophie LaBelle uses a little, in quotes, child roleplay kink to reclaim lost childhood. That's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
I thought by like definition it was.
Yeah, that's been my understanding of it as well from like the sex education space. But I will look into that because that sort of changes the whole thing.
In the definition, it does say sexual desire or practice regarded as unusual or unconventional.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be sexual. I think it's just used that way so often that
if you think about how some kinks are like sensory seeking, then like somebody who's asexual could be into like the bodily sensations of like wax play, for example, without it necessarily tying to like sexy feelings.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Well, you guys all expanded that definition for me. I appreciate that. $10 from Atlas 5350. Well, you know what? From Atlas. My evening class was canceled, so I get to catch you live, and I'm just realizing I'm wearing my chewed gum hoodie. Hell yeah.
Aww.
Much love to you both and Constantine. So glad you got to watch us live. I also realized I think I left my chewed gum hoodie in New York, which is
depressing. I think you said that about leaving your merch. Damn.
Yeah. So I am going to have to either buy a new one or have it shipped to me.
$5 from Alyssa Silverbow. Being nice for the sake of getting something from someone else isn't really all that nice. Yeah, exactly. I feel like the biggest red flag is men who are only nice to people they find attractive or people that they think they can get something from. And I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah. $5 from Space Barbarian. Calling yourself a nice guy is like making up your own nickname. Yeah. I think the nice guy thing is sort of like a little, not a virtue signal. What's the one that's like a little like a red flag, but
yeah,
not that. I don't know. I'm getting to the end of the show. I'm tired.
$5 from EB. Alyssa saying I'm worth 1 million goats on my birthday is peak. You get a goat. You get a goat. Everybody's getting a goat. I love fucking goats, especially when especially when the baby goats like parkour off of the bigger goats. I love that.
I cannot. Yeah, I know. Goats are so cute like that. I love goats so much. And also, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So great. Happy birthday. I'm so glad we got to have that interaction today. I'm glad you were here, spending your birthday with us.
Wait, has it been your birthday the whole time and you haven't been trying to get super chats by talking about how it's your birthday all the time?
Who, me?
Is it someone's birthday right now?
The chat.
Oh, sorry, the chat. I'm losing my
chatter.
fucking mind. I thought you were talking to Taylor for a second there. Not paying enough attention.
But
oh my God,
nobody knows when my birthday is, so I'm just gonna use that whenever I want, once a year.
Perfect. I
when
love
tax
that.
time comes due.
Yeah, exactly. $9.99.
It actually is when it is, though.
Oh, really?
Okay, go ahead.
Good to know. $9.99 from Doc Breezy. I make piñatas. Thank you for asking, Taylor. Yes, thank you so much. That was great, Vince. And I think you have a bunch of new followers now.
It's the coolest hobby.
Yeah, it's very cool.
$19.99 from Darth Willow. Glad to support the channel. Traditionally, female sexuality is less understood than quantum mechanics. The G-spot wasn't discovered until 1950, and the public didn't know until 1982.
Yeah.
When I was in college, it blew my mind that like women went to the doctor to get orgasms and stuff like that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think that has been like,
oh, that's not real.
I think it's been half debunked. Like, I think that it's possible that was happening, but like not as widely spread as we thought. Yeah, and I mean, to add on to what that super chatter shared, we didn't have a full mapping of the erogenous area of like a female body until 1993, when a urologist finally did it. 1993.
That's so insane.
We didn't have imaging of the whole system.
Damn.
Like sexual and reproductive, because they basically would just be like, well, this is the important part, the reproductive part, so who cares? Fucking crazy.
Losers.
Yeah. $19.99 from Cody Cooper. My hobbies are watching Hing Sports. I don't know what that is.
What that is.
Listening to music, watching TV and movies, travel, swimming, and getting worked up by the dumb crap these magas, I don't know, who pretended to love Jesus, spout on the line, actions over words. Agreed. And I remember when Cody sent the super chat, he said, I should have proofread. He was like, sorry for the typos. I should have proofread.
Great hobbies.
Yeah. Thanks, Cody.
$10 from the NB Weirdo Levi. I feel like this is blocking. I can't even see this freaking word. Oh, flirting with someone who knew me as a dipshit kid and told them, at least I'm not an asshole anymore. Days later, I realized I accidentally pulled a nice guy. No, making fun of. I feel like that's
different.
Yeah, I don't think that. I feel like that's genuinely like, yeah, I was a little shit.
Yeah, I think about that, and I've said that before, where I'm like I think about the version of myself when I was 21, and I was a fucking asshole. I wouldn't want to be friends with myself.
I was horrid and like just a mess.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
Yeah, that's not a person that I would want anyone.
I wouldn't be friends with her. Hell no.
Same. $20 from Empress Lizard 81. I got a raise today, so I want to share a little with the Tuesday ladies. Oh,
Yay,
congratulations! Thank you for sharing with us. Also, in that message where I was reading it, it was like MAGA DAs.
MAGA dumbasses.
Cody. Yeah, I didn't realize dumbasses. And then Winnie Rose 81 in the chat just said dumbasses. And I said, duh. Okay.
$5 from Alishana Silverbow. How many nice guys does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'll just sit around and complain that it doesn't screw.
Wow.
Good one.
Well done. Well done. $5 from Sarah Apple. Excuse me. Have you two thought about making a podcast? Love your side chats. That would be fun. Do you know Trixie Mattel and Katya Zamolodchikova? I don't know how to say her last name.
Wait.
Oh my God.
No, I don't think so.
They're two drag queens, and they did a show. I'll send you the one that actually they did about religion, because I think you'll appreciate that one.
Yes, please do.
And they did this show called and it was literally, they would get a topic and it would be so random, and they would just talk about that one. Like sometimes it'll just be like weather, and then it'll be like a 10-minute long video of them just talking about weather.
Unfortunately, I could do that.
I 100% I could do that. I could 100% do that. Thank you for the inspiration, Sarah Apple.
$5 from Mr. Broweekwa 10. I believe it's Tuesday, isn't it? Thanks for a lovely evening. Miladies, hope you had a better weekend than I. Also, eek, small spaces and high heights. Yeah.
Eek. Terrible. Yeah. I hope that you had an okay weekend, and the week is getting better as time goes. Yeah. $5 from something from L00550, I guess. I was wondering, have you heard of Monte Mater? Yeah, we're mutuals, which when she followed me back, I was like,
no, I don't think.
Okay. Okay, if you have not, you, Taylor, would love her, because she is also, she is an atheist now, but was a fundamentalist or a part of a fundamentalist religion, but I can't remember.
I have to look her up.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is, but she's awesome. I really, really love her. And her content is great.
And I'm getting all sorts of people to follow now.
Yeah, you're busy. You will have a busy evening.
Oh my gosh, I recognize her.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
I need to find her socials.
Yeah, I feel like she would have come across your desk at some point.
$5 from Joshua Everett 9887. Taylor has no birthday. She was formed in the world perfect as she was. Yeah, I just wait, what's the word?
Spawned.
Yes. Spawned. Exactly.
Spawned out of nothing. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I also found the video. I found the skydiving thing, and I'm legitimately gonna hold it up, because this is what it is, of these people just on a Ford. I feel like the light is making it like impossible for you to see.
No, I can see it.
That's the air balloon. They're just hanging out of a Ford truck.
I need to go find the playset one. That one, I don't know, seems up my alley. I want to see that.
Like, it is truly like this is the slide. And they just go down this.
I have to go look at this. That's crazy. What? Okay, so the slide is attached
to a hot air balloon. Yeah.
Oh, the hot air balloon. Okay, I was like, wait. That's not real, because how are you just throwing that in the sky? Okay,
I know. It literally, I was watching these videos, and I'm like, my throat is getting dry looking at these, because I'm like, this is so scary. I can't believe. And she's just doing like very like little backflips off the like this is off of the back of the truck. Hold on. Her and her boyfriend who are just like really
that it also to me like skydiving. Okay, so like skydiving once doesn't really scare me. Skydiving like again and again and again, because like your chances, I feel like, I know that's maybe not how that works, but your chances of, you know, having a problem is gonna go up because you're yeah. Yeah.
Lux also said that she feels that way about looking at videos of deep, clear lakes and the openness of the ocean. I fucking hate. I remember once I stumbled upon a Reddit that was like something about like irrational fears or phobias or something, and that's where I learned that I had this fear of like human things submerged in water make me feel claustrophobic. So like if you like the Titanic, even
okay.
Like where you can see like you know, where there once was a bed and a couch and a instrument or whatever. Like you can't really see that in the Titanic anymore, but seeing that kind of stuff submerged in water, it makes me like nauseous.
Oh
like,
really? I think it's so cool. I feel like I really love like clear lakes and stuff, but the ocean and shit, yeah, is horrifying. I'm also really horrified of space, but we could talk about that all day.
That'll be on our first podcast episode entitled Fear.
Yeah, exactly. Fear. I love talking about fear.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and please stay tuned for the next show that's coming your way. Thank you, Lux, for producing, and for Dragon for screening, and all of our mods in the chat. We love you so much. For some reason, this music
there's a trap
so loud.
Says, I feel you, Taylor. I went skydiving twice. Didn't want to take my chance with the third time. Understandable. I feel you.
Yeah, you maxed out. You maxed out on your chances there. Smart. Very smart. Wild.
My mouth is so dry.